Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're diving deep into the world of ServiceNow interviews. We're going to figure out what those hiring managers are really looking for, how you can really stand out, and maybe, just maybe, we'll pick up some, universally useful interview tips along the way. Think of this like your cheat sheet to acing that next interview, whether it's ServiceNow or, somewhere else entirely.
Exactly. And, we're really dissecting this awesome YouTube video by Joshua Brown. He's an interview coach from How to Come. He breaks down, like, all these common ServiceNow interview questions and even gives, like, some really good winning answers. So we're going to pull out those golden nuggets together.
And you know me, I love a good shortcut. So, like, imagine this. You're face to face with the hiring manager, right? And they hit you with that classic, tell me about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Seems simple enough, right?
You think so? Right.
But I gotta admit, I used to, like, totally stumble on this one. I'd ramble on about, like, hobbies, stuff that had absolutely nothing to do with the actual job.
It's so funny you say that because it's such a common trap, right? Like we think, well, tell me about yourself. And we go into this whole life story. But what Brown does, which I think is so fascinating, is he reframes the question. It's not just an icebreaker. It is your chance to make this powerful first impression and kind of steer the whole interview in the direction you want it to go.
Okay, so it's less about what you say and more about how you say it, how you frame it.
Exactly. It's about showcasing your personal brand,
Yeah.
right? That unique blend of skills, experience that makes you, the ideal candidate. It's your elevator pitch, your 30-second commercial to convince them that you are the one.
So instead of listing every single job I've ever had, like I'm reading my resume, I should really be highlighting the experiences that directly relate to ServiceNow and this particular role.
Now you're getting it. And Brown gives this great sample answer in the video, which we'll link, of course, in the show notes. He talks about being dedicated to, streamlining processes, enhancing user satisfaction. I mean, these are like music to the ears of any company using ServiceNow.
Ah, so you're already speaking their language, showing you understand their needs, how you can help them. I get it.
Yes. And, that ties into a really crucial takeaway for, everyone listening. Research. Research the company. Research the role thoroughly. What are their pain points? What are their values? Weave those insights into your answers, and you will immediately stand out from the crowd.
Oh, it's like that saying, right? Don't tell me you're funny, make me laugh. Don't just say you're perfect for the job. Like, show it. Show it through your answers.
Yes. Now you're thinking like an interview pro.
Yeah.
But, acing that first impression, that's just the start. Brown says that, why should we hire you? Question. That's where many people stumble. And honestly, it makes me feel a little,
Oh, tell me about it. It feels so awkward sometimes to like toot your own horn, but you have to in an interview.
you have to, right? It feels so unnatural. But that's what makes his advice so valuable. He breaks it down into this strategic approach that lets you highlight your strengths without sounding, like a broken record or too braggy.
So how do you walk that fine line? What's the secret sauce?
So Brown highlights 3 key selling points, okay? You've got to nail these. Your technical skills, your problem-solving abilities, and here's the magic ingredient, your unique value proposition. What is it that makes you stand out, from every other qualified candidate?
It's like, what's your superpower? The thing that makes you, you, right? But how do you even like identify that, let alone, explain it in an interview?
Right, that's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
But Brown actually gives us a really good framework to use, which I love. He says to think about like past successes, right, where you demonstrated those key selling points. So, think about a time when you solved a really complex problem or, maybe you streamlined a process that saved everyone a ton of time or even like saved the company money. Those are the stories that are really going to make your value, that unique value proposition come to life.
Oh, okay. So instead of just saying, I'm a great problem solver, which, everyone says, I should say something like, in my previous role, I noticed X inefficiency, so I took the initiative to develop Y solution, and that actually resulted in Z positive outcome. Like, bam!
Yes. You see, you've got it. Quantifiable results. Those are your best friend in an interview. Numbers are memorable. They're impactful. They give like solid evidence of what you can do.
Right. It's like the difference between saying, I made things better, which, again, vague, versus I improved efficiency by 25%. Ooh, that's
Yeah,
like
it's impressive.
five.
It shows you're not just there, clocking in and clocking out. You're really looking for those ways to make a difference, to have an impact.
Right. Okay. So let's maybe switch gears a little bit to a question that I think often throws people off guard.
Okay.
What would you do if you had to tell a customer that you couldn't solve their issue?
Ooh, That's a tough one.
It is tough, right? Because it's like we're almost trained to like always have the answer, to be the problem-solving hero.
Yeah, you want to be like, I got this.
Right, exactly. Don't worry, I'll fix it.
I'll take care of it.
Yeah. But you can't always. So what do you do then?
And you know what I think is so interesting here is that Brown actually focuses on something even more important, I think, than the technical know-how.
Mm.
And that's like your ability to navigate these like tricky situations. Like you can't solve it. Okay. But can you do it with empathy? Can you be transparent? Can you, still try to find the best possible outcome, even if it's not, the ideal one?
So it's less about having all the answers, more about how you handle it when you don't.
Exactly. It's that, like managing of expectations.
Right.
Right. Communicating clearly, being honest, and then, trying to explore those alternative solutions, even if it's not, I have the answer right now.
Right. And I think that's such a good point that he makes about even in, this tech-driven world of ServiceNow, it's often those human elements, the communication, the problem solving that can really set you apart.
It's so true.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about a question that I think gives you a real chance to shine. Can you tell me about a previous project that you are particularly proud of? I mean, this is it. This is your time to really showcase, what you're passionate about, your skills, what you can achieve.
Your time to shine. Let your light shine.
Yes, let it shine. But again, I don't want to ramble, I don't want to lose their attention with like a novel.
Right. Nobody wants the novel.
All right.
But again, Brown gives a really great framework. He's all about the framework. He really stresses picking a project that, aligns with the skills, the experience that they're looking for. And this is key, that you have a clear and compelling story to tell.
Okay, so what does that look like? A compelling story?
So it's about highlighting the challenge.
Yeah.
What was the challenge that you faced, right? And then what actions did you take to overcome that challenge?
Mm-hmm.
And then the best part, what was the positive impact? How did your work actually make a difference in that project or in the organization as a whole? And again, we go back to those concrete examples.
Yeah.
The numbers, the quantifiable results.
Like that example that he gives in the video about implementing that new IT solution, and it actually reduced their incident resolution time by 25%. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
And it's not even just, the achievement itself. It's how he talks about it. He's highlighting that positive impact, the fact that it was a team effort. It wasn't just him. It really makes you like sit up and listen.
It does. It makes you want to hire him. Right.
Right. Exactly. Like, when can you start?
When can you start? Exactly.
So, okay. Beyond these like very specific ServiceNow questions, Brown also mentions these like universal interview curveballs that, let's be honest, we all kind of dread.
Oh, yeah. The ones that make you sweat a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Even if you've prepped, even if you think you know what's coming. Like, give me an example. Like, what are these curveballs he's talking about?
Oh, the classics.
Yeah.
What is your biggest weakness? Or why do you want to work for, insert company name here?
Okay, those are definitely the ones that get you. So for someone listening who's like about to go into an interview and they get hit with that dreaded biggest weakness question, what's the expert advice? Like, how do you navigate that minefield?
I think it's so tempting to try to like dodge the question, right? Or give some canned response like, oh, I'm a perfectionist, or
I work too hard.
yeah, I'm just too dedicated. But Brown actually suggests being, a little bit more authentic, a little bit more honest, and framing it within the context of growth.
So instead of pretending like we don't have any weaknesses, we talk about how we're, actively trying to improve.
Yes, because it shows you're self-aware. It shows that you're like committed to this like constant self-improvement.
I like it.
Right. So for example, instead of just saying, I'm bad at time management, which, ouch.
Ouch.
Or you could say something like, I'm really working on my time management skills. And so
Yeah.
I've started using this new project management tool to, stay organized, prioritize my task. You're acknowledging the area where you could improve, but you're showing that you're proactive. You're trying to like better yourself.
Oh, I love it. You're turning that negative into a positive, showing you've got that growth mindset.
Exactly.
Hiring managers love that. Okay, what about that other classic? I feel like I always stumble on this one. The why do you want to work for insert company name here question. I default to like, oh, you have a great reputation. It's so generic.
Oh, I've been there. It's so easy to fall into those like generic answers. But what Brown stresses here, and I think this is so important, is going beyond those superficialities. Like really articulate what is it about this specific company, whether it's ServiceNow or any company that excites you.
So do your homework.
Yes, exactly. Have you used their products? Do you actually believe in their values and what they're doing? This is your chance to really connect your own, personal aspirations to their company mission, which I think is so cool.
Okay. So instead of just saying like, oh, I'm really impressed by your work, I should say something like, I'm super passionate about, using technology to give people a better customer experience. And I'm really excited by your company's commitment to innovation in that space.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. See, now you're speaking their language, you understand their values, and you're already like envisioning yourself contributing to their success.
I love it.
Right.
Okay. So as we kind of wrap up our little deep dive here into this world of ServiceNow interviews, what are like the top takeaways you want our listeners to walk away with today?
I would say number one, you've heard it a million times, but preparation is key. Research the company, practice your answers, actually rehearse. And then I would say even more importantly than that, be authentic. Be enthusiastic. Let your genuine self shine through.
Those are words to live by, my friend. Not just in interviews, but like in life, right? Be yourself, be prepared. If you are hungry for more of this interview wisdom, which let's be honest, who isn't, we'll link Joshua Brown's full video on how to become in our show notes. And hey, if you found this deep dive helpful, let us know. We are always looking for new ways to, help you navigate this crazy world of information out there. Until next time, keep those brains engaged and